A real estate investment with a yield of 20 or even 30% per year. That is absolutely amazing. And do you want to know how? Good evening, everyone. Chào mừng bạn đến với IQI Australia Friday Prop Talk, which means welcome to IQI Australia Friday Prop Talk. My name is Lian and I am your host this evening. We are broadcasting live from Perth, Western Australia, the city of light. Thank you for joining us this evening. Now I know, right? I my pronunciation is probably a little bit off there, but it's the thought that count. I thought so. Yesterday, when I was preparing my script for this evening, I thought I would add a bit of a twist by introducing tonight with Vietnamese. So I text my mate. I was like, "Hey Han, can you teach me how to say welcome to IQI Australia Friday Pop Talk in Viet?" And then he replied to me and said, I don't speak Vietnamese very well. Then that moment I know I picked the wrong friend. Hey, I could have go on and asked my other friend, but thank you to Google Translation. So I did a quick Google translation. So hopefully what I pronounce is a little bit correct or maybe not quite. I will find out from my guest speaker later. And that little exercise actually prompted me that language this day is no longer a barrier for investor to actually invest overseas. Thank you to Google Translate or all the different translation company out there. So things can be easily translated. So that shouldn't be, I mean, language shouldn't be a barrier stopping us from, going overseas. And what is more, when you have or you are working with a global company, your property, I mean, then you will be looked after by us locally, and then your property and yourself overseas will be looking after by another team, because under IQI we all working as a team under one big company and under one big family. So that is the beauty of investing with IQI Global Real Estate Agency. Now, to all our viewers this evening, we are very honored to have the managing director of IQI Vietnam, Mr. Dustin Nguyen, to join us this evening. And please join me. Welcome, Dustin.
Hello. Hi,
Hello,
Lian. How are you?
Dustin. I'm good. Yourself?
Very good. How's the weather there in Perth?
Very, very cold.
Oh, really? What's the
It's
degree now
winter. It's
in
still very
Celsius?
cold here. Yeah. So Dustin, did I speak that Vietnamese correctly?
Not bad, huh? Yeah, not bad, not bad. Your Vietnamese. Yes, almost correct.
He improved.
Yes, I was surprised when I hear that.
Oh, really? You can kind of
Yes.
take that is. I did
Yep.
try. Yeah, it took me quite a while to. I wasn't sure whether that's right. You just
It's
have to
good.
trust.
It's good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Dustin, can you believe that the last time I saw you was 3 years ago in
Yeah.
Dubai? Yeah.
Yeah.
How times fly.
Things happen. So we
Things
were
happen.
separated temporary. Don't worry, I'll visit you soon.
Very good. Yeah, Lily will be very happy to hear that. Yeah. Now this evening, I have two things that's really bugging me. Yeah,
Yes.
that's two questions that really in my head. The first one is, how can you get an investment in property that yield 20 to 30%? That is a little bit impossible. And secondly, after 3 years, I'm looking older and you're looking younger. How is that possible?
No, you don't look older, Lian. Don't worry.
Just
Uh,
joking.
First, I think when we can answer to our investor how do they yield 20 to 30% a year, I think we
Yeah.
all look younger. We all look younger by then. Hope the demand will flowing in after I explain this. Okay, the fact it's a truth that not a lot of people, not foreigners,
Mm,
even those that stay in Vietnam for quite a while,
mm,
they have not yet discovered this how to yield this kind of investment
yeah.
per year. And while you might think it's too good to be true, is
Yes.
nothing too good to be true, right? There must be
Mm.
terms and conditions that we strictly follow, or we have to bend ourselves along the way in order to achieve this kind of view. I mean, but it's all doable. So that's why we all go forward and recommend this to our investor.
Mm.
So let me just start with how is it possible? If you look at Vietnam now, I
Mm.
think um, all of our investor or you yourself would agree that we are one of the hottest spot right now in Southeast Asia.
Yes, you have
You start
indeed.
seeing, yes, after COVID or our GDP growth or how we control COVID. I mean, we're ready to stop reporting COVID for a year. So
Yeah.
it's quite normal life now. As you can see, I'm not wearing a mask right now in a coffee shop
What are
nearby my
you?
office. Yes, so I mean, it's normal life. We
Mm.
back to normal life for quite a while. Our economy already resumed, and a lot of big firms already realized that how what is the opportunities with Vietnam. Amazon, Apple, they all start setting up factory here. We just signed a contract. Very news. This is a news. I think just this morning, I updated you. We just signed a contract with Foxconn to to manufacturing iPad and iPhone in Vietnam. Can you
Wow,
imagine that?
amazing,
I think
amazing.
that worth about 50 billion US dollar the contract.
Mm.
So they just signed this morning in the north of Vietnam. I mean, so you see all this attention come to Vietnam,
Yes. Yeah.
and we soon. I mean, maybe because of partly China shut down their own economy or their own
Mm.
people, their own border. So
Yeah.
we are kind of benefit about that, and we have cheap labor. We already hit 100 million people, and
Mm.
our average age is below 30. So that can explain the reason why we can receive a lot of investment, a lot of attentions. So that comes about the hottest
Mm.
spot. That explains why we become so hottest spot. We're hot now in Vietnam, and all the funds start flowing in. So where part
Correct.
of the funds will flow in infrastructures,
Mm.
highways, to in order to facilitate Foxconn or manufacturing, we need ports, right? We need highways,
Mm.
we need all this. So infrastructure will be built with a
Mm.
fund, with private public fund or with ODA fund or whatever fund that we can loan from the Korean, the Japanese.
Yeah.
All these are coming because they see the potential in us. So
Yeah.
our saving rate right now is already 6% a year. That is our cash book
Wow.
saving rate.
Yeah.
Yes, to some of the
Amazing.
developed market like Singapore, Hong Kong, Shanghai. This is a ultra luxury, right? I mean, if you get 7% a year on your investment or your cash, I mean that's like, yeah.
That's
So
already good.
yeah,
Yeah.
so our saving cash book about already 6% a year.
Yeah.
So you have your own data in Perth yourself, right? Usually, property market always at least 1.5 to 2 times the lowest cash book saving rate. Appreciate,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
easily you times it up, it's already 15%, which is
Yes.
very. It's really 10 to 15% is really the average here. I would say
Mm.
it's really
Mm.
average capital appreciation of normal, moderate, decent real estate
Mm.
property here in Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, so that's the
Yes.
first condition.
Mm.
The project must be decent. So you don't have to worry about that because our team in Vietnam already have a fine selected list of
Yes.
developers, which we
Nice.
we filter out a lot of funny hanky panky kind of developers. We don't play with them. So we already fine selected for you those that with
Yeah.
correct permit already finished their financial responsibilities. They
Mm.
already done all their land or whatever permit, construction permit done.
Mm.
So we already selected that for you. So at least you know your investment will be at least from the average and above, right?
Yeah.
From the 10% and above. So
So
we
before
secure that
you,
for you.
yeah. So before you introduce your project out to our investor, you already done the due diligence, make sure they are
Of
reputable,
course,
done
of
all the good,
course.
good track record. So that is fantastic. Yeah.
Yes. In fact, in our portfolio right now, we are having 20 plus projects or property projects for clients to
Yeah.
invest, but we only bring here today to you 2 projects, so you see the rate,
Mm.
right? So it's the same rate. Remember we go to high school, right? 20 students, or only 2 top students. So I'm bringing these 2 top students to you right now. So
You make
don't
our
worry
life
about that.
easier.
Yes, elite one. This is an elite project. So first of all, we filter that. Okay. So the second condition, of course, 20% to 30%, you cannot apply for
Mm.
the whole Ho Chi Minh City.
Of
So the
course.
first thing is must be in Ho Chi Minh, and the second thing is must be in the east of Ho Chi Minh City. And now you're in
Mm.
your head will be like, why the hell was the east, right? Why not north, south, west? So let me explain. The
Yes,
east of
please.
Ho Chi Minh City is the most concentrated in terms of government funding, investment in
Mm.
infrastructure, and also government planning in the future of Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
put it in another terms for a simple example. Imagine $100 spending
Mm.
in Ho Chi Minh, $70 spent in the east of Ho Chi Minh City.
Mm.
That
Wow.
is a lot of
Quite
money.
a lot of
So
fun.
we're
Yes.
gonna build a lot of highways, a lot of round. We call it a roundabouts, like like circle lines, like circle
Mm.
highway. We connect all the other highway together, the
Oh,
north, south, and east west highway. So we connect all of them,
nice.
and we build our first metro line ever of Vietnam run from the central to the east. Imagine that. It's our
Mm.
first line.
Yeah.
Our first line is not north south. Our first line is not east west. I'm not sure why the government planned like that, but the first line is central east. So we actually
Nice.
start from the very central. It's like KLCC in Kuala Lumpur, or here we call it District One in Vietnam. Run all the way to the east of the border east of Ho Chi Minh City. So you
Mm-hmm.
already have that. Now, what else in the east? The most mega project and the most it costs us the most money now up till today is the new international airport. It's called the Long Tan Airport. This airport gonna change everything. So we have ambitions to build this airport to be like Changi Airport of Singapore. So it's gonna have 4 terminals.
Yeah.
Each terminal can take a capacity of 25 million arrival per year. So 4 terminals gonna be 100 million arrival per year. But uh, you know, as a country with slow, I mean, grow, the developing country, we're not moving that fast. Our first terminal will be completed in 2025, so that will bring
Mm.
us about 25 million arrival per year. And
Wow.
guess where is the new airport? In the east of Ho Chi Minh City. So,
It's all about the East
uh,
now.
yeah, it's all about the east now. Everybody's talking about the east now. Now,
Mm.
there's a third thing here in the east.
Mm.
Silicon Valley, right? In US,
Yeah.
they the government planned it to be a capital of technologies, capital of research and development R&D, capital of
Mm.
startups, right?
Wow.
So we will have one of that in the east
Mm.
of Ho Chi Minh City. I mean, if a closer example, let's say you guys are from Malaysia, you can look at like Sriwijaya.
Mm.
It's like a new province just for tech R and
Technologies.
D
Yeah.
and startups. So
Yeah.
all the young population gonna be there to work, to live, to
Mm-mm.
start up, to make the business. To
Or the
so
entrepreneur
Apple
over.
actually, yeah, we already in the east. We already have a high tech park, which is
Mm.
all the big guys are there. Mercedes, Samsung, all the big guys are there. So soon enough, Amazon, Apple gonna set up their own here
Mm-mm.
to even though the manufacturing base is in the north of Vietnam,
Mm.
but the headquarter of research and development, the higher manager will sit in Ho Chi Minh City in that high tech park. So this is
Mm-mm.
something interesting that
Yes.
not a lot of people know of. So if you look in, so this 3 point I just went through, you see everything is good to the east. So we have to
Mm.
follow. We have to follow the
Yeah.
big things, right?
Yeah. Of
Because
course. Mm.
to me, we believe the highest appreciation in real estate comes with the highest traffic. So the more
Correct.
traffic flow through your real estate, the the higher your real estate increase, even though it's the same street, but you know,
Mm.
the corner unit will have double the appreciation because it's a corner unit. It's double traffic.
Yeah. Yep,
So
exactly.
we follow this traffic of young movement,
Mm.
startup movement, the airport movement, the highways infrastructure movement, the metro line movement. We follow all this to the
Mm.
east. Now, so in the east of Ho Chi Minh consists of three districts. District 2,
Oh,
District
yeah.
9, and
Mm-hmm.
District Thủ Đức is another Vietnamese name. Short form is TD. Okay, let's just call it TD for easier calling.
Mm-hmm.
So 2, 9, and TD. So out of all this, 2 is already developed. 2 is well developed for
Yes.
district for the east of Ho Chi Minh City. Next to 2 is 9 and TD.
Mm.
So this is the
Mm-hmm.
new room. This is the new
Yeah.
room. So why I'm so confident of 20% to 30% a year because we did it with in District 2. We already did it over the past 4 or 5 years. I have enough statistics to share with you to prove my points.
Mm.
Once, if any clients today, any of the our guests have further questions and maybe
Mm.
want to take a look at our resales units that 3 years ago, 4 years ago that we did our first primary sales to our investor, we already exit for them 100% over 3.5 years or 4 years. So
Mm-hmm.
two
Wow.
is an already two is our example, our lead by example, right? I
Mm.
mean, can you ask me, can we still do it in District Two? Yes, we can, but the entry level is already very high now.
Yeah.
District Two, the
It's
entry
already
level
developed.
now is already 500,000 US dollar for a two-bedroom apartment. You can do
Mm.
it,
Yeah.
but why am I bringing District 9 and District TD? Because now they are just next to two. It's like neighbor, right? It's like neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
and the entry level is very low. The entry
Yeah.
level now is only starting from 200,000 US dollar
Oh,
starting.
wow. Mm-hmm.
So it's just like District 2 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we just do it again
Mm.
because and it's received the same kind of infrastructure, it's really the same kind of investment, it's really the same kind of
Mm.
planning. In fact, to prove my point, earlier this year, the Vietnam government already combined these three districts into one. And this
Oh.
one called the new city of Ho Chi Minh City. So actually, this is the first time ever in the history of Vietnam we
Mm.
run city inside a big city.
Oh,
So we have a
wow.
new city. That new
Mm.
city is that three district I just told you combined together.
Mm-hmm.
So to prove my point,
Mm.
they all receive the same government. So
Mm.
you imagine it's like the same. It's a small state
Mm.
in a big country. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the condition, right? So I just go to you. It has to be in Ho Chi Minh. It has to be in the east of Ho Chi Minh City
Mm.
to follow all this.
Mm. Mm. So sounds like previously you have bring a group of investor through, and then you have seen that your investor be able to create. So
Hundreds of them.
yeah, wow,
Yeah.
lovely. And then now moving for to the next future or next lot of investor, you're using the similar strategy because you can see the government is pumping in a similar facilities, like you got your line, your road and everything, your connectivity, and you got your new airport bringing lots more people through. Uh, of course,
Yeah.
opportunity as well,
And
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 that.
actually, there's an interesting point here to talk about.
Mm,
We already exit for our earlier investor because we have been
yeah.
here for 3 years, right? We already exit for
Mm,
them, and there's this very interesting thing is despite all these COVID things and
mm,
problems in the economy right now with inflation and we find it more than 30% of them after we exit for them reinvest with us
nice.
because we already make money for them, right? I mean, we already
Yeah.
exit for them and make money for them. So
Yeah.
I mean, and 30% plus of them is actually, I'm quite happy with it because despite all this slowing down in the world right now because to fight inflation.
Mm. I was reading few articles and report about the real estate in Vietnam. I think even before COVID, the market hasn't kind of slowed down, isn't it? It just keep going, actually going. I mean, it's kind of went down a little bit, and then it just pick up like crazy. like the market?
It's
So
it's
it's a
went down
huge.
for
Mm,
COVID. We pick up
mm,
again, and now it's went down again because the government tightened
mm.
the policy to fight the inflation. But
Yeah,
it's healthier now. I mean, it's a good
yeah.
sign because I rather it to grow at a healthier pace than it
Mm,
becomes too fast and some
crazy.
one of the day is burst. You know,
Yeah,
no, we don't
yeah.
want that. So the government tightened up some of the credit lending, some of the loan and mortgage. They tighten
Mm,
it. The real estate market grow at slower pace, but it's still growing, and more cash buyer now with more of the real ability to pay rather than leverage on the banks, which I'm happy with
mm.
it because long term we will live for long. I mean, we all want that. We don't want 5 years extremely grow and then we burst, right?
No, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you talk about that exit strategy, what sort of time frame you were talking about? Sounds like a 4 and 5 years.
Yes. Okay. So let's for all the beginning, for all the client that just heard of Vietnam. So let me explain. Uh,
Mm,
all the projects in Vietnam will be completed in about 24 months.
mm-hmm.
So actually, compared
That's
to the
pretty
world,
fast.
we are quite fast. We are quite
Yeah,
fast
that's
because
pretty fast.
I see some other country is up to 48 months.
Yes.
We have to complete in 24 months. So it's two
Welcome to
years.
Australia, 48 months.
Yes, yes. 30, some of the project we can, some of the mega project we can do up to 36, but most of the project, even though project and plus all the project we recommend is between 24 and 36 months. So
Mm,
36 months is 3 years,
yeah.
right? 24 months is 2 years.
Mm,
We always plus 1 year because to us that is enough time for the market to understand the products. For the Vietnamese, for the foreigners which have not had a chance to buy with us
mm,
earlier stage to come in and see the completed project, feel the
mm,
landscape, feel the project, see the environment. 1 year is enough time for your tree to grow big and it's create a shade in your walkway along your condo and the landscape come up, there's flower in the garden
mm,
and the second buyer will, hey, how much is it? I want to own a house here.
mm, mm.
That is when you exit. So it's usually the construction time plus 1 year. So this is
Okay.
what we advise. So
Mm,
that's why we come up with 3 years to 4 years, and you know, um, all our 5 selected projects that we did, and we already have statistics to prove. Most of them yield 100% in 3 or 4 years this period. So
mm, mm.
you started up in District 2, if you started up in District 2 4 years ago, your entry level will be about 250,000 US dollar.
Yeah.
Right now, which is 4 years later,
Five,
your
500.
unit now is at least 500,000 US dollar, at
Mm,
least.
yeah.
So that's is 100%.
Amazing.
After four
Mm,
years, you divide it out for is 25% a year,
mm,
but it's not the best part.
mm,
Now imagine, remember, you buy a project, primary
mm.
project. You don't buy a ready built
Expensive.
project, right?
Yeah.
So actually you did an installment payment over the first 2 years.
Mm,
So if 25% a year is just on capital appreciation, when you divide it out on your cash flow, you earn much more than 25% a year on cash.
mm. Yes.
So that's when you can hit
It's
30%
very strong.
because
Yeah.
you choose easy payment installment payment terms.
Mm.
Um, and our standard is already every 3 months you pay 10%, 10%,
Everything 10%.
10%
Yeah.
until 24 months you finish it up 80% or 90% with your first 10% down payment. So,
Mm.
uh, in fact, to give you a real life example, I last year I just sold two of my property in the east of Ho Chi Minh City. I bought it with it's a landed in District 9, which is the
Mm.
neighbor to District 2, which I
True.
explained
Yeah.
earlier, right?
Mm.
District 9 is now is like the rising star, right? Rising star. District 2 is a celebrity, District 9 is a KOL, okay? Something like that, right? So you look at District 9, I bought it with somewhere around 150K per. It's a townhouse, 150K townhouse. I bought two.
Mm.
I sold it for a director of HR of TikTok Vietnam. I sold it to her. So she bought it over. She bought it mine, and I sold it for close to 300,000 US dollar.
Double. Yeah.
So it's double, but
Yeah.
it's only 3 years. It's
Mm.
only 3 years
That's
from the
amazing.
day. It's 2 plus 1. Remember, I told you it's 2 year built, 1 year for the landscape for the people to come
The
in.
tree
They
to
move
grow.
in. It's your tree to grow. Yes, you need your fruit to grow, and then you bear the fruit. And then so I sold to her. We did everything finished. So I just quickly calculate my appreciation
Mm.
is that about 30%, 30 plus, because 33%,
Mm.
33.3%, right? But
Mm.
on cash, much more. On cash, my cash is 40 plus, right?
Yeah.
Because I pay installment.
Installment.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is too good. Just we play a safer. Um,
Mm.
I would play a safe. I will give you a safer kind of calculation and
Investment. Yeah.
more risk adverse kind of numbers because maybe you're not as lucky as me, you know. So, but
Mm.
I mean, it makes sense that easily you can hit 20% on
Mm.
cash. This is like
Yeah.
standard here, you know. And even in the Vietnamese, I talk to a lot of my clients to Vietnamese. If we invest in real estate and
Mm.
they don't yield 20% a year, it's a failure. You know, they say it's like us Asian and our
Yeah.
kids go to school and do a test and come home. Hey, what's your math? It's not A. You are a failure, right? I mean, it's like just like Asian study math. You have to get A, right? So it's like us
Yeah.
invest in real estate and we don't get 20% a year. That's a failure. And in fact,
Mm.
very interesting. If a lot of our buyer
Mm. Mm.
buy some of the project which we did not find select for them. I mean, if they buy somewhere else, they
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
not buy with us in our five
Yeah.
selected list. And
Mm.
up until today, they don't yield when they do calculation. They don't yield at least 20% a year. They don't even sell it. They don't care. All right, they don't need the cash. They just keep it there until
Just
one
wait.
day they can
Yeah.
sell it at least 20% a year. That is like
Yeah.
the standard kind of language here for real estate investment
Wow.
in Vietnam.
The
I
standard
mean,
is
for
there is very high.
the east of Vietnam to be exact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the standard or the yield is very high in that sense.
Yeah, I
We,
know,
are,
right?
we have lower standard here. If we compare, we will be very happy and celebrating.
I mean, you cannot help it because we are growing country. We are developing
Correct.
country. There are plenty of. I mean, I, if you go right, if you're
Mm.
not Vietnam, if you go Cambodia and Myanmar right now, you can get this same kind of rate too, but it's more uncertainty and more risk in the government and your money will be
Mm.
at risk more than
Yeah.
Vietnam. Vietnam is stable.
At the moment, isn't it? Like you have all the right X factor coming through. You have all the what you call that, like the business opportunity coming through. Everyone just looking at moving the factory, moving the businesses over across to Vietnam. And it's I have read one article that even described Vietnam is the rising tiger in Asia.
Oh
So
yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's just the beginning because actually
correct.
our last period of government we did a lot
Mm,
of elimination in corruption. So
yeah.
actually, the money flow in the way it's supposed to flow now, right?
Uh, yeah.
It's like if you remember when China they changed the government, they have this Iron Fist campaign to
Mm-mm.
eliminate all these corrupted generals or corrupted
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
We did the same. So actually,
Mm,
we just filter out. We're already starting a new era of economy with much less corruption. Of course, there's no such thing as no corruption, right? But
yeah. Not
much less
100%.
corruption.
Yeah.
Yes, right now that's why you see a lot of money flowing in, a lot of confidence in
Mm,
Vietnam right now, much better
mm,
confidence because the government is better now.
mm. And they also have new way of dealing or policy on foreign investment, isn't it? To invite people to
Yes,
come in
we
to,
we
yeah.
invite people come in. I mean, I would say our government right now. Their
mm,
mindset is very young and
yeah,
very adaptive to the world. I mean, we no
mm,
longer close ourselves to the world and we open it up. Hey, come in, please. We will share the profit with you. We will, okay, we have a land, you
mm,
bring in the dollars, we develop projects, it's yields, we share. I mean, it's like that. It should be like that to do good
mm,
economy. I mean, we are doing that right now. We just started, so I see the next 5 year will be a very, very prosperity year of Vietnam
mm,
economy.
mm. So how's the supply and demand in terms of properties in the market at the moment? Is it quite balanced
Okay,
or
it's never balanced because let me just go to you this I will explain to you. I will tell you a brief numbers, and then you
mm,
can
mm,
with simple logic you already can tell. Okay,
yeah,
so Vietnam we have 100 million people.
yes.
Our average growth rate is about 1.5 million people a year, or about
Wow.
1.5% a year,
Mm,
right?
mm, mm.
Now, this 1.5% a year concentrate where Ho Chi Minh is the top market. Ho Chi Minh is like the hottest place where everybody is like it's like American dream for the people of Vietnam. Everybody wants to do business, they go to Ho Chi Minh City.
They go to Ho Chi Minh, yeah.
So yes, Ho Chi Minh City
Mm,
is like Shanghai, right? Where
mm, mm,
Hanoi is like Beijing. It's like Beijing. So
mm.
when everybody go do business, they go Shanghai.
Yeah,
More urban, nice, more globalized, more
yes.
opportunities, more open to the world.
Mm,
So Ho Chi Minh City a third of that attract about 500,000 people a year growth
wow.
in population.
Yes.
Total population of Ho Chi Minh City is about 10 million. All right,
Mm,
10 million plus 500K a year. Now, supply of housing. Ho Chi Minh right now having to only supply about 18,000 to 25,000 units a year.
mm,
Now let me take 25,000, the maximum. Now 25,000 apartment times, let's say one apartment can take 4 people. We squeeze in a bit, okay? 4 people, that's 100. That is 100K people to be able to stay in Ho Chi Minh a year. Now it's
mm,
10 million existing plus 500K. We left.
mm,
Where does the 400K
mm,
go? They
mm.
have to rent the cheap apartment. They have to squeeze in somewhere else. They
Yeah.
have to all this sort of living. I mean, not up to the living standard, they have to do it. I mean, no
Mm.
choice.
They have no choice, yeah.
And that is why the property price keep pushing up, even though COVID, even though government
Yeah.
tightening in credit law, with simple logic in supply
Mm.
demand, you already can tell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense, isn't it? That's probably one of the main reason as well why the price has been able to double so fast. Yeah.
Yes. And that number is without foreigners influx. That number is
Yes.
just
I was
pure
just going
domestic
to mention that.
Vietnamese. Yes.
Yeah, looking at the amount of people bringing the business and everything across, you would expect that's going to be lots more people moving across. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is wow, very really amazing. And to our audience out there, sorry, I got too excited, listen, and forgot to check our chat room. So if you have any question, please feel free to put it on our comment below. If I missed your question, do not worry, I will come back to you. Yeah. And Shahid just make a comment here, IQI culture. We are all getting younger, work hard and play harder. Right. Okay, I'll
Good,
work on the
Shahid.
younger bit. Okay. So Lina, just do a quick summary. Has to be in Ho Chi Minh to be in the east. And I think has to be with Dustin from IQI as well. So that is the
Uh,
key.
yes, please choose from our 5 selected list so your
Yeah.
money will be safe. I mean, in IQI Vietnam, to us, we only have two missions. The first mission is to protect your money. The second
Yes.
mission is to double it after 3 to 4 years.
I like the
It's
words double.
it's very simple. We try to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that is yeah, unbelievable. 20-30% double in that short period of time. That's almost like a dream come true. Talking about the exit strategy, so if we exit and sold the property and make some profit, how do
Hmm.
we go about with capital gain? Do we have to pay any tax to the government?
Okay. First of all, 20 to 30% a year only doable if
Mm.
you don't take loan. Okay, please do
Yes.
not take any loan. Try your best to do it all the cash down payment
Yeah.
like I just did for my
Mm.
own apartment,
Mm.
because the loan, as you see, if your cash book saving rate is 6%, you can tell how much is the loan now, right? So it's
Yeah.
always 30% higher than the fixed saving rate. So it's the loan now in Vietnam is about 10% approximately.
Yes. Mm.
So if you take loan, you already have to minus out 10% on your margin.
Correct.
So no longer, it's become 10 to
That's
20% a year
exciting.
only.
Yeah.
So we don't recommend you to take loan.
Mm.
I mean, if you
Mm.
have to, it's an ultra good project and you have to take loan for a small amount. Okay, we
Yeah.
will help that. We approve that. Okay, we approve for you to buy it.
Yeah.
I
Prove
mean,
that.
yes, but please try not to. With all your cash, our down payment is very easy, just ten
Mm.
percent every 3 years. So first, that's the first thing to secure all your margin. Okay,
Mm.
so when you exceed, you'll be happy with 25% a year, up to 30% a year. I'm not talking about cash, cash even more, cash ROI
Mm.
even more. Okay, so when you exceed, there's a few things you need to keep in mind. First of all, you need to have a bank account in Vietnam. So
Okay.
that is the first thing you need to do when you buy the property in Vietnam as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you are in Singapore, so you can open a UOB account, or
Okay.
in Australia, I'm sure there's an international bank like HSBC, Standard
HSBC.
Chartered,
Yeah.
UOB. So all these international
Mm.
bank, they will
Branch. Yeah.
support you to open a cross country account. So you
Yeah.
open the HSBC in Perth, and then
Mm-hmm.
they can support you to online open the one in Vietnam. They can do it
Yes.
online now. Thanks to COVID, we
I have to.
changed a
Yeah.
lot of things. Yes.
Mm.
So uh, you have your HSBC account in Vietnam now, so you just transfer your money over to
Mm.
buy property, regarding to your own law, your own domestic law of the country.
Mm-mm.
So you make payment with that installment, and then when you exceed the all your money will be in the HSBC account in Vietnam,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then your tax will be 2%, which apply for everybody. This
Mm.
is standard,
Yeah.
and you minus
2% is
up
doable.
your, yeah, 2% is okay. Come
Very
on,
okay.
it's double in 3 years. Come on, 2% is nothing. And then maybe you should reserve another 2 to 3% for our commission fees for
Yeah.
the agent that uh, exceed for your
Reselling.
unit. Yes,
Okay.
reselling your unit, which they deserve
Mm.
it, right?
Of course.
Um, so that's about a 5% cost, and then all the small costs. Let's say your maintenance during 1 year or whatever, your document cost is very, all this
Just
stamp,
little. Yeah. Yeah.
all this stamp from the government is very little. It's like two hundred
Mm.
dollars, something like that. It's very little.
Mm.
So you don't have to mind about that. So
Yeah.
all nets you need to minus out about, let's say, 6% to be safe. Mm,
Yeah.
six
That's still
percent to be safe.
pretty. Yeah. Pretty generous. Profit in terms
Yeah,
of.
and then
Yeah.
everything will be in your will be in your HSBC Vietnam. Okay,
Mm.
now from your HSBC Vietnam account, you transfer back to your HSBC Perth, is strictly follow the tax of your country, right? Which I don't
Um,
know, right? So
yeah.
let's say the US charge different, the Korea charge different.
Yes.
Just follow sharp with your income,
Yeah.
right?
I will
So,
leave the money in Vietnam.
uh, oh, you leave the
Mm.
money in Vietnam. Yes, that's correct.
Buy
You leave the
another
money in
one.
Vietnam, or and then you can spend it when you be in Vietnam, or you can open like if you are you are more lucky, you can open a MNC, like you have multi branches. You can do that kind of money transfer with your in the own. Okay, if you
Mm.
don't, we have services that you can actually transfer the money back to your country legally, of course, right? But the fee is slightly higher. That's about
Mm.
5% commission fees to do
Yeah.
this, like foreign exchange of money. So basically, we leverage on those corporation that have two
Mm.
branch
Yeah.
of business in two country.
Okay.
They take the money, yeah, and they
Yeah.
charge like 5%, which is standard in the whole world.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. If you want a service, you must pay. Yeah. Would
Yes,
you
yes, yes.
recommend the investor to keep the properties and then rent it out?
Okay,
You,
that's a good point. That's a good question. Okay, the rental yield in Vietnam
mm,
is about 2 to 5% a year, which
mm,
is to us, because if you compare 2 to 5% a year
yeah.
in compared to resell it after 4 years, that is very
Yeah.
small. But
Yes.
I mean, the property will keep increasing, right?
Mm,
And also, 2 to 5% a year is more than enough to do your maintenance of your
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Maintenance in Vietnam is cheap
Yeah.
because we have cheap labor and we have
Mm,
cheap material.
yeah.
So your it will be it's always, in fact, all my properties right now, majority of them are renting now. I mean,
Mm,
on rental now. So I
renting.
just keep it.
Yeah.
And let's say your area, okay, I mean, it's like surfing, right? You can always wait for the next big wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So if you don't catch the wave after 4 years when it's
Mm,
handover, I mean, you are
mm,
the brand new condo, you have a nice environment to live in, I want to live here. You can
mm,
always wait for the next big wave to come.
mm.
So
Yeah.
let's say 3 years later, which is 7 years in total, the next big wave come. Let's say the new MRT is there, or the
Mm-hmm.
new highway is there. Catch it, and
Mm,
it will be approximately the same returns,
mm.
and you have your rental yields every year,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you have your property there, so you don't have to spend your money on Park Hyatt when you stay in Vietnam, something like that, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So I guess it really depends on that timing, isn't it? When the timing, when the wave is there, you are on the peak. That's a good idea to sell rather than just sit on the.
Yes, and we do advise that kind of exit period. We
Mm,
do advise that from time to time. It's not okay. Please don't take it for granted that just is 3 to 4 years is 100% true for all the
mm,
projects.
yeah.
Some projects we do ask the client to delay to 1 year more year because government
Mm,
delay. Okay, let's say 4 years. This highway gonna be completed, but communist Vietnam government sometimes something happened and they could delay it for another year. So just wait
so
for the big wave to come. Yes,
yes.
please um, try to hold it for another year, and then when
Mm,
the wave comes, we will exit it out for you. I mean, actually, when the wave comes, we don't even need to try to exit for
mm,
the their phone number will be keep ringing because the agent that bringing the client will keep asking them to sell it. So
yeah.
this is what I mean when the wave comes.
Yeah. So that's back to what you said, isn't it? You will protect the investor money, make sure we go into the right project, and you double the money because you watch the market, wait for the right time, and then you advise the investor, now is a good time to buy, or I mean, good time to sell. Yeah.
Yes.
So for our audience out there, if you're thinking to invest into Vietnam property, definitely go with the IQI Vietnam team. They have the experience, they have done it, and they watch the market for you, so you will be doing the right thing rather than sell after it's the best time. Yeah. So Dustin, is there so we haven't actually talked about project yet because that is going to be another
Yes.
big thing. So you mentioned that you already selected few that premium. Do you want to just quickly mention one or two of them or the two elite?
Okay. Okay.
Roughly just
One
give
of
us some
them,
idea. Mm,
yes. One of them right now is called the Nice Stella. The
mm,
Nice Stella is developed by one of the most, I would say, top five developer in Vietnam in terms of
yeah.
reputations. They are right next to the MRT, and
Nice.
it's not just right next to the MRT. The MRT will be on top, and the bottom will be the
Oh,
bus interchange.
nice. Very
So
convenient.
that bus interchange is called the East Ho Chi Minh Bus Interchange. That interchange will connect all the buses and the coach to come out of the province, the district, and the city to connect all the other cities. So huge traffic. I mean, if you talk about
Mm,
traffic here, it's going to be huge.
mm,
But of course, there is pros and cons, right? I cannot just say all the good things. The not
true.
so good things is only you can exit in 2026 because
Yeah.
this project has many phases. And in order
Mm,
to get the best yield, you need to
yeah.
wait until the project complete everything,
2026. Yeah.
2026. So it's if you're talking about that, that's about 3.5 years plus another year plus one. When I say that's
Mm,
4.5 years. So if
4.5.
you can spare your $250,000 for 4.5 years
Mm,
in order to earn about $500,000, yes, please put it here.
mm-hmm.
And there's this very interesting fact about our IQI Vietnam. As we progress, this kind of easy to entry project, our leaders actually invest together with the client. I mean, we buy ourselves too.
Yeah.
We
Why
even
not?
invest ourselves. So
Yeah.
that's also one of the things to showcase how confident we are in terms of
Yeah.
project. I mean, I cannot do that in Australia because the entry level is too high, right? I cannot just
You
hey, please buy this.
can.
It's very good. You know how confident I am. I just buy with you. I buy the next one. We become neighbor. I cannot do that in Australia, right? I mean, but the east of Vietnam, I can do it because it's still easy. It's still
Mm,
200k. It's 200k ish. Is okay for many people. And in fact, the most buyer now in this project are the Koreans because I
okay.
talked I talked to many of them,
Yeah.
uh, and there this interesting things they told me that I learned from them. Korea in Seoul, they have this area called the Gangnam area, right? This is
Yeah.
the most famous and appreciate and all the richest people live in this Gangnam area.
Yeah.
And they just tell me the same simple thing. They miss Gangnam once. They do not
Okay.
make that mistake again. So that's why they come to Vietnam. They see just like Korea, turn back the time. Like Doctor Strange, you turn the time back.
That's
it's
strange.
it's like that. It's really like that. And they it's
Yeah.
no, it's not what I told you. It's they told me this. The client
Okay.
told me this. So they just
Oh,
want to
amazing.
come back to the time back then if they didn't have a chance to catch the property in Korea, in Seoul. So now they do it from Ho Chi Minh.
Mm.
Makes
Wow.
sense.
Good on them. And then in
I'd be
terms
like,
of
okay.
you wouldn't mind? 안녕하세요. And to them, the entry price will be lower as well, isn't it, in Vietnam compared to Korea? I haven't actually looked into Korea property myself before, so I don't know what sort of price point we're
Yeah,
looking.
it's getting much more expensive. I mean, of course, it should be like double the price of
Yeah,
Vietnam, of Ho Chi
yeah.
Minh City.
So
So
I
two hundred
mm,
thousand k, 200,000 each, which a down payment of 10%, which is 20k or
yeah,
25k for a 250,000 unit for a two-bedroom. I mean, that's doable for a lot of people, for a lot of
mm,
wealthy or even high earning in developed countries.
yeah, yeah. Compared to some of other places, it's much harder to enter. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have a question from Eric here. With regards to the project that we just talked about, what are the average apartment price in the top two projects? I think he did mention already. So his question just what is the average apartment price in the top two projects in the east of Ho Chi Minh, which is what you have just mentioned, the
Yes, in district,
200K.
in district, okay, in district two, okay. If you have money, if you have the budget of 500,000 US dollar,
Yeah,
please buy district two. Let me explain why.
yeah.
Because district two is already, already famous, already there,
It's already
and
quite dense as well.
and
Yeah.
your exit, right? I mean, district nine. If you go district nine with 200k or 250k entry level,
Yeah.
if we exit for you, it takes a little bit of our effort to exit for you. We have to run this campaign, or we have to fly cam. You have to go and do some nice video. We have to
Yeah,
post it on TikTok. Do all. We have to try a little bit harder.
a little bit
District
harder.
two, we don't even have to try. The, they will just come in and say, please sell it to
Tell it
us.
to me.
Your apartment, please. Do you sell?
Yeah.
No, District two is like hot girls. The guys that will keep coming for it.
So
Yes,
just to clarify, the 200 to 250K property is in District 9. So if District 2, we're looking at the double the price, roughly around
double the
5.
price.
Yeah. And then he just said, are we still selling in USD dollars in Vietnam? Or like when you do your
No,
conversion?
I did conversion to Vietnam dong, so it's
Yeah.
approximately.
Yeah. So just for the presentation purposes, you just convert it into the
Yes,
USD.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Brilliant. So that's one of the project that you mentioned, Nastella. And then what about another one? Is there any one more that you could sort of
Okay,
just...
another one is this very interesting project, which is the hottest in the market right now for the
Mm,
Vietnamese. And
mm,
so far, they not yet open it for the foreigners, but they will open the high rise unit, the high rise section uh,
mm,
very soon. And this high
yeah,
rise section will be available for the buyers, for the foreigners buyer.
yeah.
The first phase is only the landed, and
Mm,
landed in Vietnam. Unfortunately, the foreigners are not recommended to buy. I mean, they
yeah.
still can buy, but
Mm.
it's at the end of the day they just get
Leasehold.
the SPA. They do not,
Yeah.
yes, leaseholds or the SPA
Mm.
without the pink book, which is the title deeds,
Title deed, yeah.
uh, the extreme end title deeds that you want.
Mm,
So
yeah.
we don't recommend that as well. So by the
Mm,
high right, it's okay until the
mm.
law of Vietnam is better. Then we will
Look
sell.
into that
We
option.
will Yeah, we will recommend you to buy the low rise, the landed. So
Mm,
for the high rise, they will open it very very soon, somewhere end of this year. So keep a
mm,
lookout for this, and this will cost you about 8,000 US dollar per square meter. That is about, let me
mm,
just roughly calculate. That is about 8,000 about, okay, that's about 500K. Yes, about
mm.
500 to 600K US dollar per two-bedroom apartment, and this is right in the heart of District Two, and
Yeah.
they gonna build a new downtown of Ho Chi Minh City. To what a new downtown is, the closest example I can give you is the Marina Bay Sands of Singapore.
Wow. That is
So
iconic.
they're gonna build this mega project that gonna attract all the traffic to
Mm,
become the new downtown. So the tourists will no longer have to go to District One. They
mm,
can
mm.
go straight to this project. This
Yeah.
project called the Global City.
The
So
global city.
we gonna launch the high rise very very soon, and we will
Mm,
update you about this once
nice.
it's available. It's just a
Mm,
teaser now because the developer have put in now. You know why it can become the new downtown Ho Chi Minh City? Because the organization who designed this project designed the Apple Park for Steve Jobs before he
okay.
died.
Wow.
So you know the Apple Park, right? The
Mm,
it's a UFO, the Apple
mm,
Park in
mm,
California. That
mm.
that
It's a design.
organization design. Yeah. So
Wow.
it's gonna have a
Yeah.
landmark in terms of shopping mall, a landmark
Mm,
in infrastructure, a landmark in landscape, gonna be a landmark in attractions. All this
yes.
gonna be the new kind of the new playground of the
Mm,
young and foreigners of Ho Chi Minh City.
lovely. So for the investor who have a little bit more, this is the project to go for, isn't it? Yeah.
If they have around 500 to 600 100,000 US dollar, please choose
Please.
this anytime over District 9, because
Yeah.
this they will your dog. I mean,
Hot girl.
their phone will be busy when the project is built.
Yeah. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah. I
Yes.
think some of our audience probably not aware about the percentage of how in the development in Vietnam you only open certain number or percentage to foreigner.
Yes, we only
Yeah,
open
so you guys
30% to
30%.
to to foreigners. So please act fast
Yeah.
when it's open.
So so ladies and gentlemen, so that's limited. It's not like the whole building can be sold to overseas. It's just the 30%. Um, yes, and I think we are very close to 9 o'clock, and I thought we're gonna finish in half an hour, but we keep on chatting. Information coming through, Dustin. Yeah. Before we close the session, is there anything that you would like to add on?
Um, okay. I strongly believe
Yeah.
in the next 5 years,
Mm.
follow all these big firms. I mean, I just shared with you the Foxconn news this morning, right?
Yes.
Foxconn is already here. Amazon is already set up a two factory here. That speak more than whatever I say, about Vietnam, this and that. I mean, you already can see the result coming.
Yeah.
So it's not like we try to say good about our country, but it's really there. With
It's really there. Yeah.
it's proven by all these big firms,
Mm.
uh, which much bigger head than I am, uh, decided to go to Vietnam,
Yeah.
and the next 5 years gonna be very interesting. So I hope
Mm.
our investors, our clients, who maybe want to have another option in overseas, or their
Yeah.
money gonna go somewhere new with higher returns, that even though they minus all the costs or even minus their tax, if they
Mm.
bring it back to their own country, still yield the
It's a
good
good
net
deal.
profit,
Yeah.
can take a look into Vietnam, because it's much safer than Cambodia, than Myanmar,
Yeah.
where I think this is the only competitor in Southeast Asia right now can yield as much as Vietnam.
Mm. Yeah. And also in such a shorter period of time as well. We're not also talking about 10, 20 years. We're talking about five, the max, or even six. Even then, that is considered
Yes,
short term. Yeah.
yes, yes,
So,
yes,
yeah, that is impressive. You have answered my doubt for this evening. And I hope
yes.
everyone that's
I
out there
hope.
that listen, that, if we do have more questions, we can always link up with Dustin's team. He has a good team of
Yes,
people that, speak different languages that will be able to help us.
yes.
So,
We do speak five languages. We speak Koreans, English.
nice.
We do speak Japanese, Mandarin, and
Mm,
Cantonese. So
wow.
we,
You,
we,
you
we
have
can serve
everything.
quite a number of our clients. And also, I think languages wise, not it's not as important as this, that we
Mm,
do serve our client from A to Z. So we actually serve them all the way until when they exit, because
nice.
if we're not just let them invest in it, and then we go
See you
somewhere, right? I
buy.
mean, we
Yeah.
are there. We do not
Yeah.
change our SIM card. I mean, it's just a joke. I will say we will not change our SIM card. I mean, we will always be there for you. So yeah, I mean, we really mean it, and that's why at night we sleep. We just want at night we sleep very well. Okay, so we try to serve our client very nicely from A to Z, protect their money,
Change, change the
exit for
SIM
them,
card.
let them get
But
their money, and sleep well at night. Yes, that's how we do business.
yeah, I think one of the biggest key here is you already think about the exit plan. I think that is very important to all investors because they want to know when I put the money in, how do I get out? How do I get the profit? Which you
Yeah, we
cover.
do plan that very very well, and we are very frank. Okay, we tell you straight to the face that
Mm,
this is doable and what is not doable. Okay, some of the
mm,
agents in Vietnam, to leverage on the attention to Vietnam, they did they did a lot of things that not very ethical, right?
ethical.
Something
Yeah.
like this. They, for the sake of selling, they can, just come invest in, and then I will flip for you in 1 year or 2 years. This. I mean, it's not true. And
Mm,
and we ourselves, as specialists, we will tell you straight. if you believe in that, we can't service this.
Yeah.
And you can have two choices.
Yeah.
You trust that guy, some random guy over there tell you this kind of investment without any proof or without any statistic to back it up, or you can
Mm.
trust us and we protect your money, we double it. Just give us
Yeah.
more time.
Yeah.
And but it's work rather than it's some delusional things.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Do the right thing and the client will keep coming back. Yeah.
mm.
Thank you once again, Dustin, for taking the time on a Friday evening. I know you just flew back to your
No problem.
country, your overseas trip, so we really appreciate that. Yeah.
Always have time for you, Lian.
Good one. Hope to see you very soon. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Bye
All
bye.
right. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.
You too.